men's final of the Embassy World Pool Championships, and there's the answer to your question, which most of you probably knew. 1 minute.
Thanks, Jim. Well, we know we've got an Englishman through to the final, Kevin Wright, but who's he going to play? Well, it's either going to be a Scotsman or a Welshman. First to the Scot. Will you welcome from Glasgow, Ross McInnis. And the Welsh representative, now living in Worcester, Nigel Davis. The battle commence. Over to you, Jim.
So we find ourselves into our second semi-final. And as Simon told us, it's an out-of-England affair. A Welshman versus a Scotsman. And again, joining me in the commentary booth, a beaten quarter-finalist. Beaten, but not too badly bruised, I hope. Tony Holgate. And Tony, this is certainly a contrast in styles here.
Yeah, I think what you're going to see is Nigel opting for the tactical play. Trying to stop Ross potting because he's a very fluent potter when he gets going. But maybe not. After you've just seen that break, I think it looks like he might be going to run the gauntlet.
Yellow ball's nominated.
Well, one thing about Nigel, he really has been breaking the balls very well here in this tournament. As you can see, he gives them a fair old whack and spreads them out nicely. And it almost looks as though he might well be looking at the winning post very early in this first frame.
Yeah, he's looking very positive, Jim. Well, I've never really seen him attack the balls like this. Can't understand it. Must be pumping full of adrenaline.
Well, he looked very confident in his quarterfinal match yesterday, and he seems to have carried that right through to this semifinal. And I'm sure he knows only too well the ability of his opponent and what a good potter Ross is. And just requesting the rest. We haven't seen that used too often here during these championships.
Well, he's left himself a tricky black, but should handle this one okay.
So it's Nigel Davis, the Welshman, starting things off here, taking the first frame very convincingly and leading Ross McInnis of Scotland in this best of 13 second semi-final. So Ross McInnis, who probably would have been viewed as a slight favorite in the semi-final clash, breaks off and nothing found its way to the pocket, so it's Nigel Davis with an open table.
Well, he's played a good shot there, Nigel, but he's got a couple of problem balls about. And I don't think he'll be going for game here. I think he'll opt for the tactical approach, try and knock the balls out into the open and then take it from there.
Yes, well judged, Tony. He did that at his earliest convenience as well. And going to try and keep the pressure squarely on Ross McInnis. Ross is known for his lightning fast approach to the game.
That's right, his nickname's the Flying Scotsman. I'll see how much flying he's going to do today.
Well, dare I say it, Tony, it almost appears as though Nigel may have another opportunity. His balls do seem in the open. He's going to need to control the white well, though.
I think we're looking at 2-0. Nigel's really looking positive. I've not often seen him playing like this. Maybe this is the World Championships. He's just going to throw everything into it, 110%.
Well, you heard the crowd applause there. A strong, very strong pot, and equally good in the positional aspect.
It's going to be interesting to see how Ross reacts to this early bombardment from Nigel Davis. I mean, he's not missing a thing. It's a great pull.
Yes, he's taking a very confident approach and has been that way all week. He said he was here on a purpose. That's becoming very clear. And it's a dream start for Nigel Davis. He's taken the first 2 frames in this semifinal, and he certainly is putting the pressure on his opponent, but it's still all to do. Yes, and Scotland's Ross McInnes chalking his cue. He's really been shut out in these first 2 frames. He hasn't had a chance to get his arm moving.
Nigel Davis to break, leading by 2 frames to 0.
And if Nigel can maintain that sort of form, he's going to be virtually unstoppable.
Open table.
I think this is the first opening for Ross that he's had for the start of the match. I think he'll really want to take yellows here. They're all in the open. There's not one of them tied up on the rail. It's just the opening pot's the pressure one, because he knows at the moment that Nigel's not missing anything. So if he misses this one, it could be 3-0 in a space of 30 seconds. Makes the first pot, though. He should run him out.
Red ball potted.
It's a little strange. I thought he would have took the yellows. He's opted for the reds. What he might do is cover the bottom pocket and try and work on it from there.
Yellow ball to play.
And a very tight shot there from Nigel Davis, squeezing that yellow past the other one into the middle pocket. Neither one of these players really pushed in their quarterfinal matches. Nigel came through by virtue of a relatively easy 7-2 win over Phil Hulley, whereas his opponent, Ross McInnes, came through by virtue of a 7-4 victory over England's Lee Kendall.
Yeah, Nigel's looking very dangerous now. He's really got the confidence flowing. Just doesn't look like he's ever going to miss.
Well, it almost looked as though that ball might have jumped out of the pocket. I've seen it happen in professional snooker matches as well. Sometimes the spin applied to the white can transfer onto the object ball.
Yeah, it's very cruel that the ball clearly went into the centre of the pocket, rolled round the back of the hole and just shot back onto the table. So Ross has now got a great chance here, but he's very unlucky with Nigel.
Yes, those are the type of breaks that can sometimes turn a match. And it's just a question of time to see what sort of advantage that Ross McInnis can make of it.
Yeah, hopefully Nigel won't let that get to his head too much. I mean, he didn't miss a part. He's playing well, and he was robbed by the pocket on the table.
Well, a cruel twist of fate, working in Ross McInnis's favor, helps him notch his first frame on the board, still trailing Nigel Davis of Wales by the score of 2-1.
10th frame. Nigel Davis leading by 5 frames to 4. Ross McInnis to break.
Well, this is a very big frame. Ross McInnis with a chance to pull back on even terms. It's been a good fight back from him. He was trailing 5-2 at one point. And I'm sure,
Ball potted.
as you can see there, Ross very happy to see that ball drop into the pocket. Took its time, but it got there nevertheless.
I don't think there's a lot really on for Ross here. I don't think he can get the finish.
Red ball's nominated.
So I think he's obviously up to the reds and to cover the pocket. And he's just had a nasty little kiss off that other red and his ball's dropped in. He won't be very pleased with that.
Yellow ball to play.
Well, one good kiss deserves another. I think that was a beneficial kiss, really. The red just touching the yellow and finishing over the bottom right-hand corner and blocking the pocket.
And Nigel's played a good shot there. But again, he might have just left Ross an angle. He could maybe put this in the corner and come back for the red. But obviously he's not going to go game. He's going to sit back a little while.
Well, this match has really given a little bit of everything to the people at home and to the crowd here. We've seen some very deft strategic play, as well as some fast shooting from the hip style putting. And I think if early indications hold true, this looks to fall under the suit of one of the slower frames and one that's going to be a little bit more involved and thought out.
I don't think either player keen to make a break for the balls yet. Bit of cat and mouse going on. Both of them trying to open up their colour. Ross played a delicate one there. Maybe he's trying to force Nigel to put one of his balls over the bags. I don't think he's going to do that somehow.
Foul, 2 visits.
I'm not sure if Nigel really wanted to do that there. He's given away the foul. He's left Ross with a double on his problem red. If he makes a double, he's got a game on and it could be all square.
Well, he's looking at what you suggested, Tony. And in fact, he's taken your advice.
I think it's about the first one throughout the championship. That was a really good shot there. I think it's the only shot he had. I couldn't see him going any other way around this finish. Looks like he set himself up well to make it 5 each. So we've still got it all to play for.
First visit.
I think maybe they're getting a bit nervous now. It's getting near the end of the match. Prize for the winner is a place in the final.
First visit.
And Rossi to overhit that a little bit.
And that was well played. His choice, black into center. That's Ross McInnis continuing with his fight back as Nigel Davis duly applauds. Pulling level, 5 frames apiece, and we're really getting down to nail-biting time now. And something to set you into the break. What happens if a player pots balls of different colors when he breaks? And welcome back to the Manchester Holiday Inn. And there's the answer to your question. He must nominate one or the other as his color for that frame. Obviously still a number of yellows and reds in very awkward positions.
I'm not quite sure what Ross is going to do here. It looks like he's playing the plan. No. Tried to play safe. It's maybe left Nigel half a chance to get these. He's still got that one tricky one, but if he can get up the other end of the table, he leaves himself an angle onto the one in the middle. He can maybe shift it out.
Foul.
If I was Ross here, I'd be tempted to have a go at these. It's not easy, but all Nigels are on. He's only got one to move. I think he might have a go. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell if he attempted the pot there or not.
I mean, at the moment, this frame's anybody's. I don't think there really is a favourite in this frame. Both have got some balls open, both have got a couple tied up. So it's like who leaves the other one an angle to go for game and split one out. It's a clever shot Nigel's just played there. Just to try and push his red over to the pocket, put the black behind it. Still doesn't leave Ross with a quick win.
that black passes the red in the bottom right-hand corner. I think you may see Ross attempt the double here. This has really been a great finish. Just as black needed. Well, the crowd obviously expected that black to drop in. They're not too sure what to make of that. And Ross expected it too. He's having a very anxious look there to see if the red passes the black into the bottom right-hand pocket. That would be the good news in missing the black, if it still stops the red from passing. And difficult to tell.
Obviously there the red does not pass the black. Don't think it does anyway. I don't know what Nigel's going to do here. He's maybe up for the safety. There again with the new rule in. Ross doesn't really have to attempt any sort of shot. He does leave it safe. Good shot being played here. Ross is going to stick the red right over the top of the black. That's what he's trying to do. And there is, like, if the red does not go past the black, Nigel has got really no chance of winning the fray from there. That's a tremendous shot.
Yes, he's brought both balls into play in his first visit. And now just a good positional shot from the red to the last red. That's not exactly what he wanted. And Ross obviously very anxiously out of his chair to have a look. Oh, what a timely double that is. Even his opponent had to tap his cue in acknowledgement. And Nigel Davis making very good use of that double. He's taken himself one frame closer to the final. He needs just one more now, leading 6 frames to 5. Well, Ross McInnis, now his goal very clearly outlined. He's in thought.
12th frame, Nigel Davis leading by 6 frames to 5. Ross McInnis to break.
And Ross knows that if he's going to try to keep his dream alive, he's got to win this frame and the next.
Open table.
An open table for Nigel Davis.
It's a very good chance that Nigel could get these. If you just make the first pot, all the yellows seem reasonably open. And now I think a bit of pressure is starting to tell on Nigel. You can see the winning post in the distance, but can't seem to get there.
Well, before Nigel shot, the yellows certainly seemed to be the more beneficial of the balls on.
Open table.
And another miss from Ross. Leaves the advantage back in Nigel's favor.
Yellow ball potted.
He's got a plant there with the 2 yellows. I think he's got to take that early. He's also got to get on the one over to by the 2 reds. He's got to get on that very early as well. If he can make this pot nudge the other yellow towards the middle pocket, maybe he's got a good shout at finishing.
Well, he's opted to stick the yellow over the top corner. And very interesting during the break there, just between frames. Nigel just having a quick word with the referee that he requested Ross to please stay away from the table. I guess the players have 10 seconds to depart the table area after their shot is finished. I don't know if that's really gamesmanship so much, Tony, as possibly Nigel might have been just very aware of Ross's presence, and it might have been detracting from his concentration.
Yeah, I don't think a player of Ross's stature would try anything on. Shouldn't really affect Nigel too much. I think he's maybe looking for excuses in case he does miss. But he looks pretty well set up here. It's still not bad. Ross hasn't got an easy finish on.
And needless to say, both players under tremendous pressure out there. There's a lot of money at stake here. Not to mention what the actual title of the Embassy World Champion would mean to these guys.
Yeah, Ross played a fairly good shot there. He's blocked off Nigel's yellow. I don't know if maybe it doubles. Might squeeze past the other yellow, double into the middle. If he makes that shot, could be booking a place in the final against Kevin Wright. I think what Ross has really got to do is cover that top pocket. If he doesn't cover that pocket, it might be all over.
Well, you saw there the reaction from Ross McInnis, and judging by that, one would have to think that Nigel can get through to that yellow. He's taking a very long look at it, however. And there you see Ross just a little unnerved. Very easy to lose your composure out there. Like I say, these boys are under a lot of intense pressure, both from the moment and the fact that neither opponent is making it easy on each other.
Well, this is really make or break time now for Ross. And he's really got to run these balls out. I think he wanted to be a bit further along there to have a shot at the red next to the black into the middle. I mean, it's so easy to fall out of position from when you come in from the top end of the table to get down on it. And he's only got really the choice of a couple of pockets for that red.
Well, 3 reds on the black, all required to throw this match into a deciding frame.
Not sure if Ross is a little bit too straight on this one in the middle. There he's tried to force it in. The ball's come back out the pocket. And Nigel now with a real chance.
Good pressure pot, that one. And if Nigel can just negotiate these last 2 balls, he'll join England's Kevin Wright into the final. And he's done it. So the Welshman, Nigel Davis, taking his place in the final by virtue of a 7-5 victory over Scotland's Ross McInnes.
Commiserations for us. Terrific fight back. Just that one ball into the centre pocket and you'd have been in a deciding frame, I think.
Well, I think if I'd got that and went to the deciding frame, it may have been an injustice to Nigel, because first session he just waved me off the table, and I didn't think I'd have another chance to get back into it, to tell you the truth.
But you've always been telling us that you haven't got any bottle. You showed a lot of bottle coming back from 5-2 down to level up.
Yeah, but that was the bottle there. That's what I'm talking about. None left. Missing easy ways, that's it.
Never mind. You must be a bit gutted, but it's been a terrific tournament for you.
Oh, a fantastic tournament, yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now then. What did you feel like when he was edging back at you after the break?
Well, I was hoping he wasn't going to carry on edging back. And the black at the end was about the size of a football, and I was putting it into a mouse hole. It was, as they say in the trade, my wheels fell off. It was going. So
Yeah.
it was a good frame to win.
A lot of tension at the end there.
Very lot. Yeah, I'm in bits here.
Have you ever felt anything like it in your life?
No. All I was thinking was win, win, win. And I've done it.
Well done.
Thank you.
And you're now into the final against Kevin. You played Kevin before?
I have. I've got very unhappy memories. It was 5-1 to Kevin. So I'm going to try and put that right for Wales.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Thank you.
So the men's final, Nigel Davis of Wales against Kevin Wright of England. You can see that match plus the ladies' final in our final programme. And then we'll know who is the first ever World Pool Champion. Hope you can join us.